you've got a rising proportion of your target audience consuming this content, but lagging is the advertising spend to meet that. And that means that the rates are going to be cheaper and there's more opportunity for you to get in there. And these ads, 44% are read by the host, and just under that are read by another announcer. But if they're read by the host, it really sounds like part of the content. You're getting the trust that that host has built up with their audience, and it's being conferred onto your brand. So that works really well. That's how early we are in podcast advertising. These ads are handcrafted by the host of the program. I would expect over the next few years, as ad spend increases in this area, more of it will be created by other announcers or creative agencies. More of it will be bought by programmatic, which means by an algorithm rather than sort of hand targeted. 9% is programmatic at the moment. If it's going to scale, that just has to change. So as a listener, expect more sort of standardized advertising to come. But as a brand, you can really start to reach audiences that you hadn't really thought about and sort of spend at scale. This as an advertising thing is still kind of small for some of the big brands because you have to sort of hand do it. But we're really going to see a change in that over the next few years. So for brands that want to get in there early, now's the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm writing that insight down with my Papermate Sharpwriter number 2 right now.
Well, you've got to keep up with the latest trends there, Ian, and I've got an electric pencil sharpener to sell you. 42% of these ads, according to the Interactive Advertising Bureau, the IAB, are to build brand. So just to get your name out there. 39% are for direct response. And we just talked about how Gen Z audiences do take action when they hear a podcast advert, and the rest is to promote some content. So it's a nice blend of brand awareness and conversion in terms of goals for podcast ads at the moment. We don't see a lot of our clients talking about this right now, but I'm going to bet that in 2025, this really comes onto the radar. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's coming up over the next year. What trends do we see, Nicole?
We've already touched on a couple. You know, what's next? There's going to always be advancements in technology. We know AI is going to come in and play a role. And also, you could look at automated content curation. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but it's out there. To the other end of the spectrum, personalized podcast experiences. You know, just like you're personalizing your marketing efforts, your podcast experience can be personalized too. So there's a lot coming. And I think that's why it's so important to get a jump on it now before it becomes a big thing that everybody's doing. Get in now while, you know, it's still relatively untapped, either from a production or an advertising standpoint. And then you'll be right there on the ground floor as these advancements start to roll out, and you could be one of the first to take advantage of them.
I always like talking about, okay, what's next? Morgan was talking about what's already here because he's always got his hands on these tools, but interactive podcasting platforms are going to be growing. Like there's going to be more live interactions. I think there'll be ways to more directly engage with hosts or access more resources more quickly. I can imagine folks doing interactive projects through their podcasts. We cite a stat, 60% of marketers are saying that it's going to be more important to their overall strategy. So they're going to try new things. You can't just do everything that's already been done. You got to test these new things.